Hey guys, welcome to the February 2020 budget review. First of all, this video is sponsored by Webull. Webull is a stock trading and investment app. As you know, I signed up for Webull a month or two ago, and since then I've been able to get 6 free stocks, and you can get free stock as well. All you have to do is click the link in the description and in the pinned comment, open an account, and deposit at least $100. Doing that will get you 2 free stocks, and it'll help support the channel. And before we get into the video, I have one other housekeeping item just to explain to you guys why it took so long to get the videos out for February is because all of February I was looking for a job, and I am now settled into a job, and we'll see if it's temporary or if I stay long term, but it's at least something where I have money coming in, which means that I can now take all the time and effort that I was putting into trying to find a job, and I can put that back into doing literally anything else in my life, including making videos and getting them uploaded here. So I should be getting back on track with that. So jumping into the budget here, the first thing is my credit score. Just wanted to show you here on this page because it's gone up again. I'm getting very close to 700, which is my goal. I mean, yeah, hopefully I get it higher than that, but at least 700. And I'm looking to do that so that I can get some of my other goals accomplished, such as refinancing my car later on this year. So just diving into the budget itself here, the first thing you have to remember is that I essentially had no income this month because I am unemployed. So the first thing you see is that I did get a payment from AdSense. That's just for the advertising revenue for YouTube. And it looks like it was roughly $1 over what I anticipated. Then you can see that I literally got nothing as far as a paycheck this month. Obviously, been unemployed. I did get one referral bonus that was $25, and no one claimed this one because if you don't know what I'm talking about, I do refer people to sign up for Instacart. And if you are interested in that, leave a comment below. I'll respond to you with the information. But essentially, as long as you get approved and you do a certain number of batches within a certain number of days, and those numbers are determined by your city, then you get a bonus. This person only got $25, but some of them are up to $1,750. Essentially, that bonus goes to me, but then I split it with you. So you get half of whatever that is. In this case, though, this person didn't contact me to tell me that they wanted their half, so I did get to keep the 25 for that. But you'll see here under other income, I did make money. So I did start receiving unemployment finally. It's $290 a week, and in the budget with me for February, I mentioned that I was really confused as to why it was only $290. They had some very strange calculation where it didn't count the last three months, and then it went back the 12 months before that. So it also included when I worked at Target and Whole Foods, and because I was only part-time there and made less per hour, it lowered the overall rate that they took the 50% from. It's very confusing. But anyway, this is 4 weeks at $290 a week. Taxes were not taken out of that, so I will have to pay those at the end of the year. Interest income here is $1 something. That just comes from my savings accounts, including my emergency fund. And then the money from mom, what this is I went to visit my mom. She gave me $20 in cash. And out of that, I was to buy a money order and pay her property taxes. And then I kept what was left. So essentially what was left was $15 and some cents. And the reason her property taxes are so low is the property that she owns is in the middle of nowhere, and it's literally $3 and something. So that's why you probably think that math doesn't add up. The other thing here that you see is just income for $543. That amount is $43 total for 2 TaskRabbit gigs, and then $500 because I sold my old car. It blew up in September of 2017, and I've done everything that I could possibly do to get the money together to fix it. but I just will never have that much money up front to get that done. And on top of that, I can't get out of the loan I have for the new car. So yeah, I sold it, got $500 out of it. Um, it didn't run, so I couldn't complain. Now it was a big hit to my net worth though, because it was listed at the Kelley Blue Book price, and then I ended up only getting like a fifth of that. We'll get over to that when we look at the net worth. All right, as far as spending, um, car insurance and the car payment are right on. Made sure I paid that car payment a little bit early, so more goes to the principal on that. I went over in gas $11, and I suppose that's not terrible because I did actually take a trip home. And at the beginning of the month, I didn't budget for that because I wasn't expecting it. But the fact I only went over $11 is pretty amazing, actually. Electric and internet were right on. The phone went over $3, and it was just whatever the bill was. For the last couple months, for some reason, it's been a few dollars more. I might have to update the budget in the future. So student loans the same, gas is the same. You'll see here I went way over with fast food. I think there are two issues that led to this. One is that I did take that unplanned trip home for a weekend, and in doing that, I was trying to eat as cheaply as possible. So I had to eat out because I was staying in a hotel, but the cheaper thing to eat is, well, fast food rather than a restaurant. And then also, I started working my new job, which I'll tell you guys eventually more about, and just trying to get my schedule, like sleep schedule, back on track. I'm having a real hard time in the mornings. So, like that combined with I haven't figured out how to do lunch yet. So I've been basically getting like breakfast and lunch the first 4 days at least of the new job, and just eating out. So that's contributed to that. That's also contributed to this, which we'll get to. I did at least stay under budget for groceries. Now, restaurants, I don't think I've ever gone over a budget by this much, but let me tell you what happened here. Most of this, like $76 of this, is one meal. And that is probably the most that I've ever spent on a meal, ever. Now, you guys know that sometimes in the past, I have separated out food from my budget if I bought it for somebody else. In fact, I did that in this because I spent like $8 on my mom at McDonald's, and that's in stuff for mom. Um, this is a little more complicated because essentially what happened is my best friend and I, who I never get to see, met up a couple weeks ago for dinner, and she was having a real rough weekend, and because of that, she didn't have any money. Long story there, and so I told her, "Don't worry about it. I'll pay for it." And we went out to B-Dubs, which you guys know the story from last month. I said I should not ever go to B-Dubs again because it was so expensive. It was like $26 just for me. Well, I got a smaller order this time, thinking it'd be a little bit cheaper, and it probably was. She got an order too, and then she had 4 drinks, and then she wanted me to try one, so I got one too. So essentially, we had like 2 actual drinks, and then 5 alcoholic drinks, and then food for both of us. Plus, she knew the guy working there, so I wanted to make sure I tipped him fairly well. So anyway, that's what led to it. It was about $75 and some cents. Really, like a lot. So almost all of this going over budget here, like I said, is just one meal. I didn't do any gifts or donations, and I didn't go to the doctor. Mortgage and rent is right on. Renter's insurance is right on. Now, they did raise it starting next month, but it only raised about 60 cents. So it's still going to be set right at the $65 amount. And then with storage, I have actually paid this, but I just did it today. So it's going to be This plus it was late because I just forgot. So I paid a $20 late fee. So I'm actually paying 85 and went over this budget by $20. But it's just not showing up on here yet. Well, talking about the business expenses, that $15 that I had budgeted was for something different than what I used this for. But essentially, I had $50 as a commission I paid out because in January, I received a $100 referral bonus for Instacart. That person contacted me and I had to pay out their half. So that's $50 there. And then $3 was for parking while I was doing my TaskRabbit gig. And then you're going to see here clothing. I budgeted $30 to get one pair of jeans. And here's what I actually got. I got two pairs of jeans at the sale price, which is going to be $55, let's say, with tax. I also got a kind of t-shirt hoodie thing that was like $25. And then $81 of this is a wool pea coat. Now, I've been looking at this for years and kept putting off buying it. But I had a 15% off coupon, and I told myself, as a congratulations to myself, since I never buy anything, for me getting a job, I was going to buy it. Now, I did buy it. I'm looking at it right now. But after getting it home, I realized it's not the same color that I thought it was. I think I was looking at a different one of the same style earlier that's a lighter color. So, unfortunately, that lighter color one is not around anymore. I'm going to have to look for it next year because they tend to have the same ones every year. So hopefully they have it again next year. I'm just going to return this one. It's going to be $81 back, but that'll be on the March budget. And then stuff for mom. The $65 was for her storage unit. I did pay that, but on top of that, bought her a meal from McDonald's, bought her a newspaper, and bought her this thing called the bulletin board, which is basically Craigslist but on paper. And I made a key for her too, for her storage unit. And then let's get into everything else, because you see there's a lot here. And just keep in mind that basically I was my normal self and was pretty frugal throughout the month up until the point that I knew that I had this job. And at that point, it kind of shifted to, well, I have a lot of the severance pay left and a lot of my vacation paid out. So there were a few things that I have not had the money to pay for that I ended up going ahead and getting because I knew I was safe to do so and had this as extra money. First thing you're going to see here is a car wash. You guys know I have not had my car washed for over a year, other than when I get my oil changed twice a year and the dealership does it then. $14 was just the nicer wash that they had there. I think that's too much, but I was, picking my friend up to go out to dinner, so I wanted it to look nice. And then with the finance charge, that's how much interest was charged to the credit card. And the service fee is the fee for getting the money order to pay the storage. Only $21 in snacks, so that's a lot better. And then home. So with home, this is a few things. I bought a towel, like a bath towel. I've had the same towel for 13 years. It was about time to replace it. I also, for 13 years, have had the same blanket on my bed, and it is absolutely in tatters, and I've been meaning to replace it just as the whole getting my life together project. If I can remember to do it, I'm going to post a picture either up above or just over the screen here so you can see this thing and see in what deplorable shape it was in. I didn't really want to spend as much as I did, but I did wait at least until it went on sale, and then I used my red card at Target to get another 5% off of it. So essentially, I did the best I could. I also got a mattress cover. So it's mattress cover, this duvet thing, and then the bath towel that makes that $122. Personal care was deodorant and something else. I don't remember, but it was something similar to that. Oh, contact solution. And then hair was $35 for the haircut and $5 for the tip. You see this negative $52 for credit card payment? That's because it's not an expense, it's a credit. Essentially, I called Capital One and I told them what had happened the month prior where I was a day late with the payment, and they did credit me back the late fees. So that's what that is. They did also reduce my interest rate on one of them, I believe. It's only temporary. It's like for 6 months, but they reduced it a little bit. And then the hotel, that's $169, including tax. Essentially, I stayed for 2 nights, and I did that to go visit my mom, and there were some other things I had to do while I was down there. I'm gonna try to figure out a better solution for this, but I haven't figured that out yet. And then you see finally uncategorized, a check. And I don't know how to categorize this. This is something that I've been talking about on this channel for almost 2 years, and it was not my doing that dragged it out this long. But I made a purchase. I made a purchase of an asset that is an asset in the sense that it's going to make me money. So I'm going to make a video all about that, and I will tell you guys what's going on with that. But essentially, I sold the car for $500, and then I spent that on this. So the type of asset this is, I don't lose this $480. I just now own something that's worth that much money. So net worth wise, it didn't affect it. And like I said, I know that's confusing and vague, but it's just because I'm going to make a whole video, hopefully in March, explaining what this is and what's going on with it and how it's going to make me money. And then remember, we didn't contribute anything to the emergency fund because I didn't get paid anything this month. Now, looking here at the income by merchant for February, you'll see ODJFS 1160, 61%. That's Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. They are the people that do the unemployment. Selling car, which I mean technically is not really income. Google, that's my AdSense, and then everything else is 4%. That is TaskRabbit, Instacart referrals, money from mom, and then the money that was paid as interest on my savings accounts. Now, I forgot to mention this earlier, but as far as income, I actually did have 2 other things come in this month. There were 2 instances where I loaned an old coworker of mine money, and then she paid me back, and she always pays me interest. So I gave her $10, and then she paid me back $20. So it's $10 and then $10 in interest. Another time she borrowed $1 and she paid me back $2. So, $1 paid back and then $1 interest. Both of those amounts are sitting in my PayPal balance right now, or sorry, my Venmo balance, I believe. And I just didn't cash it out. So because I didn't cash it out, it's not showing in here, but I did also get payment for that this month. And in addition to that, I also did a focus group last week where I got a Visa gift card with $150 on it. So because it's on a gift card, I don't actually have a way to show it as income here, but I did get that. And finally, we're going to look at the net worth graph. As you can see here, it's a little funky. All right, so essentially, we had a huge spike up last month because I got that severance pay. And since that increased my assets so much, that increased everything. You can see it's dropped back down, but it is still higher than it was the month before that. Or, well, I guess I should say higher than it was in December. So it is continuing to increase, and you can see here that the debt has continued to decrease. And it looks like my assets are still a little higher than they were in December as well. So let's look into the actual numbers here. All right, so keep in mind, not everything is tracked accurately in here, but overall, we can see that there was, in fact, a decrease in assets. A big chunk of that, about $2,000 of that, is me selling that older car. And then these, though, are accurate, and you can see that there's a bit of difference here in debts. So that is a reduction of debt in the amount of $367.08 over the previous month. So taking a look here at the net worth that it calculated, I just had to adjust it for the actual balance of the checking account versus what it shows in here. So I had to subtract about $100, and that brings the net worth at the end of February 2020 to negative $171,606.06. That is a decrease of $3,910.73 from last month. So that basically means it's about even, because I had about $2,000 in income missing, and then about $2,000 in that old car. That was the difference between the money I got for it and the actual blue book value of it. So that comes out to about $4,000, which this is a $3,900 decrease. So essentially, when you account for those things, I pretty much broke even. Fortunately for next month, I do have a job now, so I will have a partial paycheck coming in on March 6th. And then toward the end of March, I'll get a full paycheck, meaning that I won't be really back on track in any way until April when I get 2 full paychecks, but I'm getting close to it. And I mean, as you saw from the graph at the top of the screen, I'm still ahead of where I was. So still have lower debts, still have a higher net worth than I did before I was laid off. So I guess I can say I pretty much landed on my feet this time. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end. If you have not done so yet, make sure you go down into the pinned comment and click the link to go to Webull. Again, you're going to get 2 free stocks. Those can be valued up to $1,400. All you have to do is sign up for the account and then deposit at least $100 into it. And like I said, that will help out me and the channel as well.